Always one of the most looked forward to days in the Shenandoah Esports arena is when our Super Smash Bros. Team gets to play a team that they are all too familiar with. And today is one of those days. We welcome you live here to our Shenandoah Esports arena here in Winchester, Virginia, as the Varsity Smash Bros. Team gears up to take on Old Dominion University, a very familiar opponent, and an opponent that has given them trouble in recent memory. But I would say a pretty even 50-50 split just about every time these two teams meet. Very highly talented, very skilled players, and very evenly matched while being very familiar with each other.
Yeah.
Makes for one very exciting day. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton. Despite what my jersey says, this has been Kincaid, and we welcome you back here to the booth for one of our more exciting days of the year, as this series tends to deliver every single time we stream it, and I'm expecting today to be no exception.
Yeah, I'm expecting a long one here tonight,
Yeah.
right? I'm expecting 3 sets, 3 series coming through from these two teams. Last stock situations, as it always tends to be every single time these teams meet up. ODU, SU, very familiar with each other. Like you said, this is NACE Varsity Premier trying to secure a top spot here is SU in this group, who are sitting 2-0 right now to ODU's 1-1. So trying to differentiate themselves from that kind of middle of the pack standings as we take a quick look at what the group looks like right now.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down here so far, as it is still early on in the season, but you're starting to figure out who's the real deal. And Full Sail and Shenandoah up at the top of this list, really starting to cement themselves as serious contenders, but you have to dig a little deeper. If you've watched these games, you kind of have to think that FIU, UD, Old Dominion, SU, and Full Sail really all have a massive shot at winning this thing. There's a lot of talent in this group. SU has overcome the University of Delaware, they have overcome FIU, and now another big contender stands in their way. Like I said in the intro, a familiar opponent, and an opponent that has given SU trouble in recent crew battles. I believe ODU has won the last 2 crew battles that these two teams have met up in, but they also played in the preseason NECC placements in a best-of-1 that SU came out on top. So very back and forth, really volatile matchup that makes it so exciting every time.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at what the head-to-head with these two teams look like here from the side of SU and ODU. SU in NACE Spring 2025, 6-3, a 14-7 win-loss ratio there on the side of ODU. 8-1, a 17-2 game split there. So a very, very powerful team here in last semester was ODU. But, I mean, both of these teams are incredibly close in skill, and frankly, this can go either way, any day of the week. Who knows whenever these two teams meet.
Yeah, the reason why I said you got to kind of look between the lines and know that ODU is still a threat, given that they are in the middle of the standings, is because they still have this same roster that they just went 8-1 with last semester. And we take a look at this semester, this is where you can't be fooled. They did drop a series to Florida International, a team that Shenandoah overcame. So, series win 100% for SU, looking to maintain that through today. But ODU is not here to play, they're here to win.
Yeah, ODU definitely wants to come out with a victory here and tie SU in the standings. As we take a quick look at what the rosters look like here tonight. Some familiar faces on both sides. ODU, Nova Star, very familiar with that Sonic player. Angel Eyes as well, playing that Snake. Voltaic Breeze on the Ryu still, and Fish back on that Byleth as well. All 4 of these players we saw the last time we faced off last semester, as we take a quick peek over at the SU side of things.
Yep, standing across the aisle, standing across from their opponents, is this familiar SU roster. I mean, it's all going to be the same. This series has been played multiple times already. Igloo, Kip, Willie, and AJ looking to make a statement here today with a much-needed win, because, again, you have to think long-term here in that bracket that we looked at, or in this group that we looked at. A win today almost secures playoffs for SU. There's a lot of Smash left to be played, but this is an extremely front-loaded schedule for SU, and they're already 2-0. So massive opportunity for SU to continue to separate themselves from the pack in a very talented group.
Yeah, this is going to be a close matchup, right? The big names that stand out to me for ODU is Novastar and Angel Eyes. Those are the big heavy hitters, I feel like, on this Old Dominion roster here. Novastar, usually the one that comes out starting on that Sonic, just kind of mixing things up with the speed. Angel Eyes as well, very, very strong on this Snake. Two very, very good characters in the game as well. A lot of tools at their disposal to find ledge traps with the Nikita missile or that forward smash coming through from the Sonic as well. The fist barely reaches that kind of under the ledge part, so it's very easy to two-frame with that move as well. So it's going to be a close matchup, but those are the two players from ODU that I'm really looking at the most.
Absolutely, yeah. Every time ODU succeeds, it is mostly due to the impact of Novastar specifically on that Sonic. That is absolutely something to keep an eye out for. Now, in the past, so when you play a team this often, a lot of the strategy comes down to catching them off guard. And in the past, ODU, that's their name. Good Lord. ODU has started Sonic most of the time, but not all the time. In this NECC placement match, the best of one that I mentioned, they did not start Novastar. Novastar came in last, and that did not go ODU's way, so I'm curious if they will maintain that strategy, if that was just a test, didn't fall their way, and they're going to bail on it. Hard to say, but from SU, it's been a lot of the same. It's been a lot of Kip start, a lot of Willie at the end. Hard to expect that to change here today because that has been working, but I say that even though ODU has been coming out on top. It's hard to say, right? But excuse me, all of these series are usually decided by one stock.
Yeah, and like it has been working, right? The Kip start has been working, but it's just the closeness of these two teams is still makes it really flippy towards the end. Like you said, a lot of these series going last stock, a lot of the sets in that last stock scenario as well. So I guarantee you we're going to see every single player from both of these teams in every single set. I don't see it going any other way. I do expect it to be Willie, like tried and true, that anchor position here for SU. We never really see him go in unless he really has to stop a fire from erupting, right? Trying to slow down momentum from the other team. We've seen Willie kind of go in that sense, and that usually saves Igloo or Kip towards the bottom. Usually AJ will then kind of move up the rungs there to go up a little bit sooner than normal when Willie does go in sooner than normal. So we'll have to see kind of where these puzzle pieces land here, because right now it's taking care of this Sonic wherever the Sonic comes into play.
Absolutely, and there are two subs worth mentioning on the ODU roster as well. Now, I don't expect to see them here today, but they are worth mentioning because we saw both of them in ODU's series against FIU. Then it did not work out. They did drop that series, but the appearance of their Inkling player specifically stood out to me because that he seemed to perform better than most of the roster. Obviously, there's a lot to take in there, but while I don't expect to see this Inkling here tonight, it's always on the table, depending on how things are going. If SU somehow has figured something out that ODU needs to put a kill switch on, they might start digging in their bag of tricks, but every time these two rosters have played, it's been the same four people. This Inkling has been around for at least a year now, and they have not played against SU, so I don't expect that to change, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, and the one that would come out in the ODU roster is probably Fish on that Byleth. We're fairly certain Novastar, Angel Eyes, they don't go anywhere, right? Voltaic Breeze on the Ryu, as well as a very, very strong player on that kind of fighting game Shoto style character. Mocha is the other sub coming in from ODU. It's an Ice Climbers as well, so another fun gimmicky character in that sense to play against. So that is also a potential curveball that could come through on the ODU side. Don't expect that to happen. Like we said, it's always been those four characters that usually start things off and keep things going for the ODU squad. On the SU side of things, we also have a sub, Eyes, who's a Roy Palutena player as well. So there could be potential with a swap there with AJ potentially, but I don't expect that to happen because of the familiarity that all 8 of these players have with each other.
Exactly, yeah. This is so often up here we talk about characters. We talk about what we're expecting to see and what we think is strong into what. And, sometimes you go out there and things surprise us. But there really are not many surprises that are going to come today. It's truly, we've seen all of these matchups. We've seen you said it, 8 of these players go up against each other in different orders, and every single time it is so close. Every single one comes down to the wire, and maybe one of these teams has figured out a way to sort of get over that hill and find some consistent victories. But right when you do, the other team has an opportunity to change up their lineup, to change up their strategy, and keep this thing neck and neck. So I'm not expecting many surprises tonight. We know exactly how these players play. We know exactly who they play. We know exactly how each matchup goes. It's just a matter of getting out there and executing.
Yeah, and on the side of SU, looking at kind of the characters that we play, we have the Falco with AJ and Angel Eyes on the other side, that Snake. Would expect that to be kind of the matchup that SU wants to try and find, but we know that Kip has had success into Angel Eyes as well. We know Willie has had success into Angel Eyes as well, just spamming B laser over and over and
that was
over.
Iconic.
And I could not, that game was 6 minutes of the 7-minute time frame that you're allotted. So it was an unbelievable display coming through from Willie on Kazuya, never approaching the opponent whatsoever. So we have tricks up our sleeves to handle some of these characters, but we'll just have to see where things truly fit, and if Angel Eyes comes in first for some reason, or anchors instead of Voltaic or Novastar, something like that. We'll have to see where everyone lands, but this first match that we will see will decide a lot moving forward in this first set.
Yeah, where the surprises come in are from mistakes, or from, these players are all so equally talented that if one player can't step up to the moment, can't execute their game plan, can't get the consistency that they are used to, that's when the surprises start creeping in. That's when you get in some of these uncomfortable situations where you do get weird matchups like Kazuya into Snake, something that I guarantee SU was trying to avoid like the plague. But they made the most of it and ended up coming out on top when they had to dig deepest and really plant their feet in the ground and make something happen. It worked. And that's where these surprises creep in. It's hard for me to analyze much before this game because it does all come down to the execution. We've seen this all before. And it's just a matter of what's going to happen this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it really is nothing new between these two teams. I would assume that we will be hopping into game shortly. We see the lobby starting to get created. I believe waiting for ODU to join in on their switch here. So hopefully jumping into match very quickly.
Say
but
that again.
We will have to wait and see what happens. But yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, getting distracted by our production team. Yes, we are still waiting. Looks like for ODU to join the arena. But, I mean, what can you bring into this? It's hard. I guarantee that both of these teams have had this date circled on their calendar since the schedules came out.
Yeah.
This is something that both of these teams, I guarantee, look forward to quite a bit. Also worth mentioning that I believe last time these teams were supposed to play, ODU, I believe, forfeit or had
I think you might be right.
Weather issue. It's hazy now.
They couldn't
that
go
was
to
a
their
long time
space
ago.
to play or something
But yeah,
like that.
we were all robbed of a Shenandoah ODU matchup, and I don't remember if that got rescheduled. This is also hazy to me.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if we played them.
Yeah, I know circumstances were weird around the last time we saw these two teams play, but expecting different results here, certainly if you're SU, right? They have struggled to get over that hump, that last final stock. Because again, I've said it a couple times, these series are decided by one stock, and it's game of inches, it's a game of milliseconds, and sometimes those one stocks can come from anywhere in the 12 as well.
Yeah.
Like, it does not need to be that last stock that's the game changer. Sometimes you steal a stock early on that ends up being the decider down the line. There's so much that can happen here, but I'm eagerly awaiting to get into this.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can jump into game here soon. Just kind of spitballing of what I think lineups could be. I think SU is going to go with Kip. That is what we have always done pretty much all season, every season. So I don't expect that one to change too much. On the side of ODU, we've seen Nova Star start and anchor, so we're not sure necessarily where they will land. I do think they like Nova Star specifically in that starting spot just because of how aggressive and oppressive Sonic can be into a lot of matchups just based on the pure speed and the struggle to hit that character sometimes. And the edge guard that they can provide with stealing stocks fairly early with the trampoline falling down, the forward smash coming through as well. Even just the forward airs from Sonic do a whole lot of work on the edge guard. So I would expect the Sonic to come through. Angel Eyes, kind of anywhere. Frankly, I feel that the Snake can really kind of fall in to any role that is necessary for them to fill. But I do not expect that Fish, the Byleth, would be the one to fall in the anchor role. So I would expect Angel Eyes, Vortake, Breeze to kind of fill in that spot for ODU.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't think in all of the matches that we've seen these two teams play, that I've ever seen Angel Eyes start. So maybe that's the mix-up. Like,
that could be it.
I don't want to sit here and say, like, we can rule that out. We can't, right? That's the kind of thing that you have to tweak and sort of play with when you're playing these teams a million times like they do. That's the little things that might win you games, and it's hard to say. Maybe they've got a strategy. I would hope they have justification for it, right? It's not something that you just want to play with mindlessly. But assuming Kip probably starts because that's what Shenandoah has done against every opponent. That's what Shenandoah has done every time they've played ODU. I don't think it makes a ton of sense to start Snake, given that Kip can and is totally willing to sit back just as much and match your passive playstyle. Whereas Angel Eyes, again, this is not just a Snake player. This is a Snake player that we know extremely well. We know exactly how they play. And how they play is they don't approach you.
They like the platforms.
Yeah, they sit on that platform and do nothing for 8 minutes. And so Kip is totally fine with that. And so in my head, I don't think it makes much sense to start Angel Eyes. But sometimes they start Nova Star. I don't remember if they've started Ryu, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, anything can happen. I can't sit here in like we do with other series and say, that doesn't make sense, don't think we're going to see that. That doesn't make sense, don't think we're going to see that. Because
everything could make sense in this.
Solved.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the 100th time I've casted this series. It's little things that anything's on the table.
Yeah, I do feel like Voltaic Breeze might take that second slot and Angel Eyes would be in that third position just because of how we often start our series. I feel like you want to try to dodge the Pac-Man if you are Angel Eyes and go into that Willy matchup or the Igloo matchup, Yoshi as well coming through from that player as and then we do have that Falco, but I don't think we'd save Falco for that late in the series unless it's going swimmingly, right? And we can wait that long for the Falco to come in, but frankly we just have to wait and see, and we should hopefully be getting into the matchup. Yeah, we have no idea. This is purely speculation. Who knows what will actually happen in this series, so we'll have to wait and see. The time 7:12 supposed to start 12 minutes ago, so sorry on the delay there, but we will hopefully get this game up and running here shortly.
We did also just get word from our production that ODU is in the arena. They have been selecting their character for upwards of 2 minutes, but we're going to get into a button check, and then we'll get into game shortly, so stay tuned, right? Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty of action coming your way here soon, but yeah, it's there's not much to talk about until we get into it. Now,
that is true.
This could mean anything, but this button check is Igloo Samus against Angel Eyes Snake, which are two things that I said we probably wouldn't see. So worth calling out. I don't know how button checks work, if this is a lock-in or not, or like a confirmation of these picks, but hey, what did I say? We don't get many surprises. This would be a surprise.
Yeah, this would be one of them. The Igloo Samus into the Angel Eyes Snake instead. So, yeah, very interesting. Usually with blind picks, whoever you go into the button check with is exactly who is going to be played. So it could be an Angel Eyes start. Like we said earlier, I don't think we've ever seen an Angel Eyes start. So maybe this is the play coming through from ODU to try to catch SU off guard here with the Snake start, saving Nova Star, this Sonic player, till the end. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, admittedly, I feel like we've been bit by this sort of, surprise reveal, like, instant announcement of who you're going to play first for the button check. I don't know if it counts or not. I know that Kevin and I have gotten in trouble saying the wrong thing before, so I don't want to speak on this too much. But both of those would really surprise me, I have to say.
Right.
So while we wait, the button check has been completed. We await to see who, if anyone, will change their character. But all right, let's talk about if that's real, and we got a Samus Snake matchup to start this thing. That's a little tough for Igloo on the Samus, because, or at least compared to other options, if Igloo is actually starting Samus right now, you have to think that he wanted it into Sonic, Ryu, or Byleth, because that is much better. Snake is not necessarily bad, although I was talking to Igloo earlier, and he said he prefers Yoshi into Snake, so again, I have to think, if this is real, again, big if, that this would not be optimal for SU, but who's to say?
Yeah. I mean, like you say, big if. Who knows if this is real? But yeah, this would be a big shock, I feel like, on the side for SU to see Angel Eyes come in so early in the series, just because of how oppressive Snake can be with projectiles and how difficult it can be to play around the game plan of Snake. I mean, you put C4 center stage and you throw nades, you throw missiles, mortar shells, the whole thing, and then as soon as they approach you, if they get past the C4, oh no, just throw your leg up in the air with your up tilt, and that can kill if there's enough percent. A very, very strong up tilt does Snake have, so we'll have to see if that is what we are going to see with the Snake Samus matchup here with Igloo on that Samus. But, I mean, Igloo Samus is also very good. It's not a bad character selection for Igloo whatsoever. I mean, you mentioned that they do prefer that Yoshi matchup, but I do feel like Igloo can make this one work.
Yeah, so we see, I believe, our reveal for the opening matchup, and it was the button check. It does appear that it's going to be Samus Snake to start this thing off. So both teams throwing all tradition to the wind, and we're just going to duke this thing out and pray that it works, because what is this?
Nothing makes sense anymore. Everything we know about this series is gone, right? Angel Eyes is starting, Igloo's on Samus, Nova Star is probably in the anchor position where we usually see them start. Voltaic, Breeze, and Fish somewhere in this mix-up as well. Very strong players in their own right, as it does look like we are about to hop in to this first game of Samus Snake to kick off this best of three.
Get your popcorn ready, folks, because get comfortable in your seats. We might be here for a minute. Samus Snake kicking this matchup off as we start our best of three between these two very familiar opponents, Shenandoah University and ODU, week 3 of NACE Varsity Premier.
And this is what we're used to coming through from Angel Eyes, right? Grenade, throwing the grenade even more. The C4 is up there on that platform, but right now you can see Igloo struggling to get anywhere close to this Snake player right now. 76% to the 0 of this Angel Eyes player, but now finally 20% built up, but still a very dangerous position right now for Igloo.
Yeah, Igloo struggling to get around these grenades, taking a lot of hits so far from Snake up close as well. Angel Eyes so far switching up the the traditions, as we said, all thrown out the window as he has approached a couple times here. Look at this, rolling in. Things that I've never seen in this matchup. Recovering high, that's nothing new, and up tilts killing is certainly nothing new either.
Yeah, but Igloo able to get some good percentage here. Tries to go for that back air to seal the deal on that first stock. Has the up air there to connect, but trying to charge up this charge shot here instead. Will be able to connect it. Let's see how early they can get this stock. You don't want to get too much extra credit to this Snake here, because with the oppressive gameplay that the Snake can have, you want to be able to get these stocks out of the way quickly when they are up this high.
Yeah, 150% is going to be hard to finish, especially when you're doing mix-ups like that, right? Recovering high, changing how long you're doing it. Igloo looking for that down air and a down smash. Catches the jump on that one. So, stock for stock, but more or less back to where we were just a stock ago, with Igloo taking some pretty serious percentage, struggling to avoid some of this damage, and certainly struggling to return it as well.
Has the charge shots landing here, 104 to 64%. The roll through that second charge shot there means that one won't connect. The dash attack coming through, the up tilt trying to secure that second stock onto Igloo there does just go wide, but you can still see the range that this Snake can play with is super, super powerful. Back air does connect. The forward air will land, but has some armor there on the up special or up air, I guess, recovery, let's say, for the Snake. Yeah, up B, there it is.
Up special. I guess you were right. I don't know
well, perfect. Awesome. Well, that's good.
I corrected you.
But yeah, so the mortar going up will be able to find the kill. Now SU down to their last first set here, the first stock on Igloo Samus.
Yeah, 100% now on. Oh, he breaks the Halo thing. I forget what Snake's up is called, but he breaks it. He goes down with the down air, catches the recovery, and Snake getting a little too comfortable off stage, gets punished for it. That's a big break for Igloo to try to swing the momentum back in his favor.
Yeah, that is a huge blunder there by Angel Eyes, and this is possibly the most aggression I've seen out of this player the entire time I have seen these two teams play. Oh, if that connected, that could have possibly found the kill there with being so close to that top blast zone. The side air coming through, but won't be able to connect on anything. Neutral get up, mortar is there, but won't be able to find any connection there for Angel Eyes. Very close in the percentage.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. You can never, as Snake, just be side-being on stage when your opponent is also on stage, because, yeah, Igloo is going to land a fully charged shot on you every single time. So that was an aggressive decision. 115%, getting awfully close to losing this last stock, starting to drift away from recovering high, but right as I start that sentence and stutter over it, what do? They recover high. So 140%, just about anything would do it at this point. Igloo fishing for those back airs. One sweet spot would absolutely secure it, and maybe even a sour spot at a percent as high as 140.
Yeah, trying to find that back air, like you say. The charge shot coming through, won't be able to get through that shield. Will connect one, dash attack.
Wow.
Good DI coming through there from Angel Eyes, able to stay alive. The zap whip will come through and connect there, but we'll have to see. There's the charge shot, and there is the kill. Igloo survives with one stock.
Yeah, okay, so that was borderline best case scenario, I have to say, for SU, because we started to break it down. If SU was to start Igloo Samus in a massive mix-up, the one problem with that would have been a Snake start, and ODU was ready for it, had the answer, but still couldn't overcome the Samus. So that's a massive win for SU, and he'll take this one stock into another series.
Yeah, now you gotta wonder what ODU does. Do you send in Nova Star now, or do you save them towards that anchor? I would assume that you do, and that you would see Voltaic Breeze or Fish come in here. I would feel like it might be Fish just because of a little bit of range matching, but I guess Ryu does have what's that called? You know,
Hadouken.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one that I was looking for. The Hadouken move. So yeah, perfect impression coming through. You might be the voice actor. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so Ryu could be the answer to come through with Voltaic Breeze, just to try to take care of this Samus quickly, and then move on to SU's next player.
Yeah, Voltaic Breeze is a very interesting Ryu player because they are very passive, very quiet, very slow in this ODU play style, right? Ryu, it feels like the one character that should scream, hey, I'm going to run them in your face and take these stocks as fast as possible because you're going to be panicking when I'm all up in your personal bubble. But Voltaic Breeze does not play that way. So I have to think that Igloo Samus would feel relatively comfortable in a ranged matchup against Ryu because that's how this Ryu plays. And it might force Voltaic Breeze to sort of break that habit and start approaching. But again, that then brings you into good luck approaching Samus with all those projectiles. So $1 million question, right? ODU with a massive decision ahead of them. But at this point, again, like, if I'm ODU, I'm thinking, okay, Igloo Samus just started and took 3 stocks. They've got 1 stock left. I'm probably sending Snake in here to take care. Right? Like, this is an uncomfortable start for ODU because that's the default train of thought. But now, with that off the table, anything could happen here, right? It is just 1 stock. All it takes is 1 bad stock from Igloo or just like 1 clean combo from whoever they put in to even this thing out, and we're past it. But an opportunity to create an advantage for SU here.
Yeah, we are going through the stage selection process here for ODU. We're hovering over town there for just a moment. Not sure if that is where we are going to be taken. I mean, SU still hovering over pretty much every single map in the game as we go through. I heard our producer say Nyland on Fox. I don't know if that is real because they are the Inkling player. So very interesting mix-up here if that is the answer to come through onto Igloo Samus.
Okay. So it's interesting. We knew based off what we saw in ODU series against Florida International that this roster is fluid, or at least it was that series. I don't know if that was experimental, but based off what we saw, this roster is pretty fluid. So a decision to put in one of their technically listed subs in, maybe that will become a consistent thing. Who's to say? The bigger question is, who do they replace the longer this goes on? Maybe that decision has not been made yet, right? With how fluid this roster could be, maybe it will come down to who do we need and when into what matchups. But a aggressive decision to put in a Fox into Samus, but again, a character that is very fast, has the shine to reflect all of Samus's projectiles, is a smart decision here if you've got it on your plate.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense as an answer into Samus, but it does beg the question, like you say, who does not go in? Is it Fish or Voltaic Breeze that do not see this set number 1? We are more than certain that Novastar will never be taken out of this lineup just because of how good they are and the character that they play. So we'll have to see how this Fox matchup goes, but already some good percentage here coming through from both sides and some early small strings.
Yeah, this is going to be an up-close and personal match because Samus is going to be forced to play a more brawling play style and not use... Oh, no! Oh. Igloo had no jump! Must have been eaten somewhere in there. I did not see it, but Igloo clearly didn't think it got eaten, and, wow, loses a unfortunate stock there. That's the type of thing. Those are the moments we talk about that can make or break a series.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very unfortunate scenario, but like you say, that stock can come back to bite them later on in this series, as we see it's AJ sitting down in the driver's seat. The Falco Fox player, a little bit of Star Fox action coming through possibly in this next set, as we're all tied up now 9-9 in the stock count, but Igloo Samus, Igloo the player, now out of the way for ODU.
Yeah, so 3-3 split for Igloo on the Samus. We'll see if he ends up revisiting that in another series, but can't complain, right? I don't know that it's the payoff that they were looking for with such a call-out like that, but didn't do bad, right? Broke even, can't complain about that, and forced ODU to put in a player that they might not have normally. So not sure how AJ feels about the Fox matchup. Like you said, a little Star Fox on Star Fox action should be a little exciting, but we'll see, right? If reflectors going both ways, there's not much to reflect other than, I guess, Falco's lasers are a bit more impactful than Fox lasers. But yeah, going to be very up close and personal, going to be very fast. Both of these players are going to be flying across your screen. But a tough matchup and a big ask here for AJ.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a close matchup here. Like you say, the speed of both of these characters are very, very fast characters in this game. But yeah, I mean, expecting a lot of grab setups coming through from AJ, or up tilt starts, as Falco loves to try to get you up in the air, up throw, a great kill option if that laser going up connects. We saw that work a couple weeks ago into MPG. The Mega Man died to one of those up throws, which is shocking to us at the time. So yeah, a lot of kind of those quick approaches and some aerial approaches coming through from AJ on this Falco. And I've not really seen Nyland Fox a whole lot other than just that little bit, but it seemed like a lot of dash and nair with the Segs kick, just trying to get some damage, chip damage started, and then trying to just find ledge guards.
Yeah, one thing we know for sure about these two teams, they take their time between series. So appreciate you bearing with us. Get used to it, but we are loading into our third matchup of the night. Our second player from both teams with a clean 3 stocks going into each other. Little Star Fox on Star Fox matchup here as AJ starts with a few up tilts to get this thing rolling. We are underway.
So the up tilts do connect, the jab coming through there from the Fox as well, getting some damage onto the Falco. But yeah, you can see the speed in which these players get to play with these two characters. Up tilt into up air, trying to find that back air as well, but unable to find the connection that AJ was looking for. The back air, another great kill option for the Falco as well, especially if it hits that sweet spot. It does a whole lot of damage and launches you quite far.
Yeah, keep an eye on both of these players just using their nairs to fall out of each other's combos. We've seen it a couple times from AJ already, and I fully anticipate that Fox will do it as well. Good DI there from Fox to avoid the back air, but can't quite get away from the up smash. So AJ starts with first blood and builds the stock advantage once again.
AJ now only 108% built up. The down smash coming through, trying to find an angle and clean up that stock without too much extra credit is Nyland. The up smash will connect. Not a lot of extra credit off of that stock for AJ here, but still a very, very even matchup on both sides.
Yeah, tough break there. Grab goes just wide, and Fox, being the fast character that he is, can take advantage, can throw out an up smash in half a frame, it feels like. So that is one of Fox's go-to kill options. Keep an eye out for those up smashes as they come out quick, and they do kill. I mean, it's not often you get a move in this game that comes out that fast and has serious threat to it, but Fox up smash is one of the exceptions, and it really is what makes this character so deadly.
Yeah, the forward air able to connect there for AJ. This forward throw as well, or the front throw coming through from AJ there. Trying to find a little bit of spike maneuvering, the side B going just wide as well, but already both of these players on this second stock dangerously close to possibly dying at any given moment. The down aerial will be able to connect, trying to clean something up, but won't be able to connect on that one.
I mean, look at the movement of these two players right now. It's jumps, it's fast falls, it's just little movement mix-ups, and it's throwing out hitboxes and moves that don't get punished easily. There's a nice, well-placed back air there to catch Fox sleeping, but just like that, he returns the favor and evens the stock count once again. So far, AJ has been the one to take the stock first, but very even matchup here as the percentages even back out at 0.
Yeah, good parry coming through there from the Fox as well. Up tilt, trying to find another chain approach there is AJ, but unable to find anything. The jab yet again coming through, 69 to 33% in favor of ODU here on these final stocks. But now AJ needs to try to find a landing, but Nyland doing a great job at finding the areas, finding the speed that is needed to clean up that last stock.
Yeah, those up smashes come out of nowhere, and Fox able to take advantage of that one and get his value, swing the stock count back in favor of ODU. But AJ not looking too shabby for himself, hanging very close in this Star Fox matchup until Nyland started to really run away with it on that last stock. So strong performance from both of those players. AJ falls just short, and now the task will be, it looks like, Kip to go clean that one up, which is hard because Fox still has a reflector.
Yeah, the Reflector is definitely going to be the name of the game here in this matchup for this Fox, just getting rid of Galaga's, Bells, Keys, whatever it may be that you can reflect and try to use for yourself, your own combo starters off of those is exactly what you want to see from the Fox. But Kip only needs to find one stock here to even things back up at 6-6. You just don't want to go into this one losing a stock and being down 6-5.
Right, yeah, this is a big moment for Kip, and Kip is certainly no stranger to big moments like this, but not usually as player 3 for SU. But you got to think that behind this Fox is definitely a Sonic, who Kip does very well in, and so does Willie, so that's good news for SU. And presumably Ryu, I want to say, like, if I'm ODU, I think it makes more sense to leave Voltaic Breeze in. I guess we'll see how things shape out. But in my head, if you're SU and thinking down the line strategy, you're prepping for a Sonic and a Ryu. And with Kip's Pac-Man and Willie's either Kazuya or Terry, I think you feel pretty good about that. But the one thing that could really throw all that off is if this matchup goes very poorly. So an opportunity for a breakaway here from ODU if this does go poorly for SU, but big ifs, right? That's the name of crew battles. That's the name of this crew battle. Anything can happen, absolutely, and we'll see if Kip is able to find the consistency that he normally has in a matchup or in a series that's going to need it.
Yeah, we can already see Nyland off to a very fast start here on this Fox, already building up 50%, but the grab, the up air, just barely too short there for Kip to continue that string. The Nair will be able to connect, and now launching hydrants, farming Galaga, whatever you can find. But, I mean, Nyland doing a great job right now at finding so much pressure on to Kip's Pac-Man.
Yeah, the speed has become overwhelming for Kip so far, not able to land many of these hitboxes and getting caught off guard by Fox always being where Kip is trying to land, and those dashes are a huge deal, especially when you can combo it into an up smash right about at this percentage. Now, Pac-Man is deceptively heavy, but would likely go down, I would think, to an up smash. Oh, as Nyland almost dies to that, or gets caught by the lingering bell, but exactly what we're talking about. That up smash was pixels away from taking this first stock off Kip, but if Kip is able to get away with this stock in hand, that's a huge deal given these circumstances.
Yeah, the down air will be able to connect now. The Peach will connect and find the kill. Kip staying alive with the 3 stock count, 127 built up. It looked like Nyland was going to be able to find one at least in that match, but SU Kip able to bring it back and tie it up at 6 apiece.
Yeah, that's huge awareness from Kip to pull that fruit and go at that angle, knowing most likely that Nyland would go for the side B and get stuck on that horizontal plane right into the fruit. So big observation from Kip that I'm sure came from watching a lot of film and watching that matchup against AJ. I mean, these teams have played each other a million times. They know the tendencies. That's a big part of crew battles as well. Playing against your opponent, sort of feeling them out and picking up what you can and then applying that later. That step has been done for years.
Yeah.
We are into the applying stage, and that fruit is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I mean, a great placement from the orange and or peach. I don't know what color necessarily.
What it is.
It's one or the other. I'm going to go with peach because it doesn't feel that orange to be an orange. So I'm rolling with peach. We're going to fact check it real quick, and we will decide off of whatever Google says the fruit is. It is
cherry,
orange?
strawberry, orange, apple, melon, Galaga, Bell, and Key. So it's the orange.
So it is an orange.
According to Google AI, which I guess we could double check
yeah,
that.
that is true. But usually
orange,
pretty close.
Final answer according to ssbwiki.com. Shout out.
All right, and orange is the one to connect on the side B onto Nyland's Fox. But now, who do you send in on the side of ODU? You're assuming you're going to have Voltaic Breeze and Novastar be the last 2 players on your roster. I would expect it to be Voltaic Breeze on the Ryu. I don't think you want to send in the Sonic just yet, just because of the matchup that they can have into Willie's Kazuya with the speed that they're able to produce. But we'll have to wait and see if that is what ODU is thinking. But right now, I am feeling Voltaic Breeze is the one in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you got to remember, though, that in the preseason, when ODU did keep Novastar as their anchor, they got matched up into Willie and lost. Now, I also think that Willie had a stock advantage going into that one, and I believe it was pretty close. Mm-hmm. But also, I think Willie started to get uncomfortable with how the game was going, and you know, starting to feel his momentum drop a little bit. I have to think that in a 3-stock to 3-stock stretch, it would still be very close. But yeah, strictly speaking, the last time Sonic was an anchor into Willie's Kazuya, it did not, or into Willie's Terry, he played Terry that game. Mm-hmm. It did not go well. So, for Sonic specifically. So, I don't know. Big decision here, right? And again, Voltaic Breeze is not a lock necessarily to be the fourth player that we're expecting. So, maybe this player here is the surprise. Maybe this is the Ices that we saw against FIU. Yeah. Who knows, right? There's a couple options here, but you have to think if it's not Sonic, then that confirms that Sonic will be last.
Yeah, I definitely agree that if it's not Sonic, that is 100% what we do. So we just did get word from our production that Novastar on the Sonic is going to be the answer into Kip's Pac-Man here. So the Sonic comes out early, which I can only imagine means Voltaic Breeze is going to be in that anchor position.
Yeah, I would think so, especially given that we know the anchor for SU will 99.99% be Willie. Mm-hmm. So you have to think that, you know, what do you take into a Kazuya or a Terry? Probably another fighting game character, and that will give you pretty solid 50-50 odds of coming out on top. But as we load into this one, it is Novastar making his first appearance against this SU squad that has plenty of experience against him. But will it be enough this time around to come out on top? Even stock count as Sonic finds himself on the other side of that hydrant and almost getting grabbed and killed for it.
Galaga up in the air, Kip there with the re-grab. Good percent built up early here with some hydrants and some good nairs coming through as well. So we'll have to see if Kip can keep this up. The scissor kick will connect, but won't be able to do too much off of it. The grab, trying to read that roll, but won't be able to find the angle that they were looking for in that one. But thus far, a very, very close first stock from both of these players.
Yeah, Sonic utilizing the power ball to get through the hydrant a couple times there. Kip starting to get comfortable behind his hydrant, but knows how to play around it as well. We saw Kip go for a grab after the down smash, knowing that if Sonic walked up one more time, he would absolutely be grabbed for it. So good awareness, just didn't work out that time. But this matchup really is going to come down to how Kip plays around how both of these players play around the hydrant. That's a crazy call out that works. Just a raw up smash, catching Sonic at 100% now, but not quite finding the kill. And well-placed Apple, too. Catching Sonic mid-sprint. Very impressive, able to shield that bell. Grab comes out. That's dangerous for Pac-Man as that grab lasts forever. Leaves you very vulnerable. And oh no! Definitely could have DI'd that, but tough break for Kip. He will lose his first stock.
Yeah, just that forward smash out of left field, it seemed like, able to connect the neutral get up. The option for Kip getting off of that ledge called out beautifully. Trying to find a forward smash of their own, but also cannot connect that one as the shield comes out in time for Novastar, but still pushing, trying to find any sort of angle here for Kip to find this first Sonic stock.
Whoa.
Catches the bell instead, so now Kip has to try to find a way around that one. Novastar just opting to throw that one away. No use, they say, for the Apple.
Yeah, did some serious thinking. Can I approach with this? Do I know how this thing works? I don't really know, but opting to stick to what you know, and the same exact read bites Kip again. A neutral get up right into the knuckles of Sonic means that he's down 2 stocks in this head-to-head.
Hey, Knuckles, that's another character.
Sonic reference.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Not even in the game right now. But yeah, so we'll have to see. An Apple will connect and find that stock. So we'll have to see what Kip can do with the final stock that they have. 2-1 here. Novastar starting to really feel it right now with the aerial scissor kicks, side airs as well. Now the ledge guard, what happens? The roll up instead won't be getting caught by any forward air setup coming through from Novastar, or forward smash, excuse me.
Yeah, this is something that I'm very curious about, that the fact that ODU did not put Sonic in first and has stopped putting Sonic in first, I believe, is to avoid this matchup, because Kip had been getting the better of Novastar in recent matchups. So this is the matchup they were trying to avoid. SU finds a way to get here anyway, and it's going pretty poorly so far. Kip just struggling to get settled in, getting caught by sort of silly mistakes off the neutral get-ups from the platforms, and now up to 100% on his last stock, and a dangerous position here, but is able to make it back to the ledge, but catches a back air for it.
Yeah, back air will connect there for Novastar. The down tilt will connect as well. Does get back to the trampoline, and will be able to buy some space here with the hydrant. Trying to farm up that bell, will have it in their disposal, but uses it trying to call out another roll, a speedball coming through from the Sonic yet again, but still so dangerously high percentage right now for Kip.
Yeah, this is what you need. This is what you can't let happen. Look at the rhythm that Novastar has settled into. A little too comfortable getting into this side-to-side campy playstyle that ODU has built their Smash brand around for the last multiple years. This is the type of thing that wins them games. And now, after how this series has gone, it is allowing Novastar to play like this, clanking with bells, getting as aggressive as possible, knowing he's got the advantage he needs, and had a bit of a read there. Kip gets away with one. That Cherry might have found it, but a big mistake there. SU finds a break, and maybe might be able to find more, but a back air does secure that one, so not as bad as it could have been, but ODU wins a must-win.
Yeah, now 4-3 the stock count. Kip doing a great job surviving as long as they did on that third stock, able to secure 2 off of Novastar. Now Willie is the answer here, the last one standing on the SU roster. Terry or Kazuya, which one do you go with in this scenario?
This is very interesting to me because we don't know who this last person is, right? And normally, with 4 stocks to go, you're picking your character here knowing what these 4 stocks will be, but ODU has positioned themselves so that we don't know who it is. But I know that when stocks are even and Willie has to go into Sonic, he picks Terry. So I assume you stick with what you know. I also know that Willie tends to go Terry in these massive run moments when everything is unpredictable. So it might be a Terry moment. Kazuya's momentum is also extremely overwhelming, but I don't know that you have the time to build up that type of momentum. But what you need to be ready for is to deal with Icy's, Ryu, or Byleth. And I think the better option all around into all of those would be Terry over Kazuya.
Yeah, I do agree that Terry definitely adds a little bit more opportunity for approach in a lot of those matchups. We know that Willie is very comfortable on that character as well. The Go meter, the Power Geyser, and I can't remember what the other one is called.
The Buster Wolf.
The Buster Wolf. I always forget Buster Wolf. Are very, very good comeback mechanics and have quite large hitboxes. Specifically, the Power Geyser reaches quite high and is deceptively wide, right? It hits very, very easily if used properly. So I would expect the Terry to be the one to come through to try to clean up this Sonic and then potentially go into one of those other 3 characters that we could see.
Yeah, we know that Willie is also no stranger to just throwing those Power Geysers out and catching you sleeping. That's as soon as Willie is over 100%, you need to be aware of that massive hitbox that could come out at any moment. So maybe something to keep an eye on, especially when we learn who this next player is, who this next character is, and if they will die at low percents to a Power Geyser hitting you with like the very edge. So like if you're trying to go high and Willie catches you, sometimes you just explode for it. But I would expect that from like an Icy's. Byleth is very heavy. Ryu is decently heavy. So we'll see, right? We'll get there when we get there. But right now, one stock at a time, and Willie needs to get through this one Sonic stock, a Wi-Fi Sonic with Terry that has played it multiple times, but certainly an uncomfortable situation for sure.
Yeah, Terry already Willie throwing out those projectiles, the flip kick coming through as well, just trying to get any sort of approach and angle to try to put some strings together and just secure this first stock without any pressure and hesitation coming through from Willie. Just trying to play space, play the time to put up some percentage, and then find that killing blow.
Yeah, playing around his power waves right now very smartly. Now, the problem with power wave is that it comes out very slow. So if Sonic's able to predict it or play around it, wow! A massive dash back there, finds the down tilt and the power knuckle, or the burn knuckle, excuse me. Willie makes quick work of this Wi-Fi Sonic and gets it right in the rearview mirror.
Well, if it isn't what we said before, Chris, 3 stocks for 3 stocks. Last player. This is only the first set. We'll have to see who ODU puts in. I think it's going to be the Ryu. I think it's going to be a Shoto matchup to seal the deal in this first set. Voltaic Breeze, the one that would be piloting that character. So, I mean, this is going to be a close one regardless, I feel, of who comes in here. But that is, in my mind, what makes the most sense.
Yeah, and on paper, I truly do believe that ODU's 2 best players are Novastar and probably Angel Eyes. Especially in an online crew battle, like the way they play is built around saving their stocks. And both of those are behind you. So whoever goes in here for ODU as an anchor into Shenandoah's probably best player,
right,
has a lot of weight on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And it's going to have to be a player that I don't know has been in this situation before, right? We're used to seeing, the last couple times Sonic has been the anchor, but now a player who may have never been the anchor, maybe never been the anchor against Willie at least, is going to have to go into a very, I want to say scary demon man, but a scary guy with a ball cap and flames.
Baseball player, man.
You know, basically.
Hitting banger, home runs, right? So we'll have to see what comes up here for ODU, but this is pretty much exactly what we expected. It's a very close series, could very easily go last stock to last stock. It's Ice Climbers, by the way.
Whoa, I
it's
missed that.
not Ryu. Ice Climbers is the answer, so I guess it's Mocha coming in. Voltaic Breeze not making an appearance here in this first set. And that makes me think, is he there? I'm not sure.
It definitely could be. I mean, again, this ODU roster has made it clear that they are comfortable putting in different players at different times given their circumstances. But this is a weird matchup for me. I don't know how Terry does into Ices, but keep an eye on this player's ability to sort of disjoint their 2 characters, right? It's just like that, except, wow, Willie doing a good job of taking advantage of both of them, and he does find the power dunk on the one that was still on stage, and it was the one that carries the stock. I forget the names of the 2 ice climbers, but it is the male ice climber that needs to lose the stock, or that needs to be launched off screen for the stock to count. If the female ice climber dies, the male will continue to fight on.
Yeah, the grab coming through there from Mocha does have the go meter up and available. Oh, that will be the first use of that one. There's the Power Geyser coming through as well. So you'll have to kind of wait and see. Power Geyser yet again coming through. Oh, just trying to polish off that stock. We'll be able to find, I think, one. No, that one's still alive somehow, but now that should be the second stock out of the way. Willie still with 3.
Yeah, Willie's looking great, and I have to say I really don't like the Ice Climber pick now that I'm seeing it, because I'm noticing that Willie does have ways to connect a lot of his hitboxes on both of them, or just indiscriminately. If he's able to catch you in your shield when he has his go meter, I believe he can get... Now this is dangerous. He might get spiked here. He's able to air dodge out of it. That was an opportunity for Ices, but Willie gets away with it. But what I was saying, if he's able to catch you in your shield with his Buster Wolf online, it might not matter if you're in your shield because he'll grab one of you no matter what. If I saw that correctly. We'll keep an eye out, see if it happens again, but Willie ultimately doing exactly what he needs to do in this matchup, which means jab, jab, power dunk into jab, jab, power dunk.
Yeah, Willie now off stage, trying to find the recovery. Can do so just fine. The freeze coming through into the up smash will be able to find the second stock here off of Willie. The spike, there goes one. Now, this is exactly where you don't want to be for Ice Climbers, because now your recovery is pretty much non-existent. And now Willie can, frankly, do whatever he wants against this poor little guy, and it will be done and dusted. That is set number 1 in favor of SU.
Yeah, very, very strong showing from both of those players. I have to say that Icy did a lot of things correctly, but a tough ask, a large mountain to climb being Willie's Terry. And I do think that matchup is hard for Icy's. Just based off what I saw in that specific matchup, that looks like a very, very hard hurdle to get over. But Willie absolutely living up to the moment, looking very comfortable, and giving a set to SU in this best-of-3 series.
And now ODU, backs against the wall, have to come back and strike here with a win in this second set. But right now, I mean, I know we went last stock, but it did feel like it was pretty well commanded by SU towards the end there, right? I feel like a lot of the weight was lifted off our shoulders a lot earlier than we are used to, because usually we see Angel Eyes a little bit later. That was gone in that first set against Igloo, and then Nova Star coming in third instead of fourth. I feel like that spread out of those characters really helped and worked in SU's favor.
Yeah, so here's the question. If you're ODU, did you feel comfortable enough in that to run it back? Does SU feel comfortable enough to run back the Samus opening? Did that pay off enough to warrant doing it again? It's hard to say, right? We say it all the time that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
The winning team usually has less reason to change their strategy than the losing team, but we also know better this time around. It's hard to justify that type of mentality when SU was already changing their strategy the first time around. Good job.
Thank you.
So it sounds like we are going to take our 5-minute timeout here, so don't go anywhere. SU one up over a very familiar opponent in ODU.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you got some refreshments. I hope you are very comfortable. I hope you're settled back in because we are one set into this best-of-3 series with Shenandoah in the lead over a familiar rival in ODU. These two teams tend to go the distance every time they play, so we might be here for a minute, and I hope you went to the bathroom if that's the case. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton, not Nando. This is Ben Kincaid because I got to wear one of our sick new jerseys. And if you're interested in these jerseys, you can buy one of your own on our website, which you can find on our website.
Bang, there it is.
We're getting ready to load back into our next matchup between these two teams that just went stock for stock all the way down to the wire, and we're loading back in. It looks like we might be in a button check, so hey, false alarm, we'll hold that one. But again, if this is a reveal of characters, which last time it was, that's bad news for SU.
Yeah, Fox is exactly what Samus does not want to see because the shine, the projectile mitigation that Fox has is very, very strong, and that's pretty much Samus's whole game plan, right? You want charge shot, you want that to land and be able to combo that into kills. But if that gets reflected towards you, it still does a lot of damage and will stun you, and Fox, being as fast as they are, can capitalize on that with pretty much anything that they want to do. So this is a very, very tough first matchup here in the second set.
Yeah, and it does look like this will be the matchup that is confirmed. So tough start. I mean, we got to listen to the players a little bit with their mindset and their strategy, sort of breaking down what they felt made sense. And part of the caveat was, if we keep Samus in, do they start Fox? Because that's what we want to avoid. And here we are. So ODU, with the right decision out of the break to mix up their strategy a little bit and try to counter this Samus that did take 3 stocks off of them the first time around.
Yeah, this is going to be a new start to this series. ODU down 1 already, right? SU taking that first set means that they could end the night here in this set, but we'll just have to wait and see how this one goes. But yeah, this first matchup, Igloo is going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat, it feels, to come out with this at least a stock remaining like they did in that first series. So it'll be a close one, but this does kind of open the door for AJ to have some good impact here against Angel Eyes if that comes in after this Fox, or Kip to as well use their projectiles to their advantage and be able to continue going on a tear that they did last time.
Yeah, get ready to see Igloo change up his entire Samus playstyle. It's going to be very brawl heavy. It's going to be in your face because that's going to be how it has to be, right? Fox's shine comes out so fast. Not as fast as it once did. Shout out Melee with a 1-frame option. But yeah, while it's not that overpowered, it does still come out extremely fast, and it reflects and boosts the damage of the projectile. That's the last thing that Igloo wants to do to himself under these circumstances. So expect a lot of forward airs, expect a lot of up air strings, because Samus doesn't have much in terms of hand-to-hand combat, but Igloo's going to have to find what Samus does have to make this work.
Yeah, we'll see the charge shot already in full force. We'll be able to connect to 1 for 32%. We'll have to see if that continues, but right now you have to get back on stage if you are Igloo. We'll be able to do so. The up special there, the forward air as well, able to connect. Trying to find that ledge guard, but just barely unable to time that 2-frame, and that is the shine coming out, but not yet able to block. Well, never mind. I was going to say block a charge shot, but that one just did. Just trying to find that forward air, so unbelievably close to finding that stock.
Yeah, that's one you'd love back, because Igloo was all over that one and just unfortunately slightly misplaces that forward air. But we're back to stage. It's not a huge deal at all. 123%. Setting up the ledge trump as well as possible, and they let go of the shine. So Igloo playing around this shine just about as well as you could ask.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great stock there from Igloo. Only 67% built up on that one. But now it's time to see how much extra credit you can possibly get on this stock. The back air does connect, trying to buy some space to get that charge shot going yet again, trying to find that up special, the spot dodge in the air, able to keep them alive for now. But now the struggle is getting back onto the ground. The fair coming through, but the grab coming through instead from Nyland, the shine as well, and the back air will connect and find the first stock off of Igloo.
Yeah, just like that, what felt like a pretty solid stock for Igloo turns into a very solid stock for Nyland the other direction, right? We even back out to low percentages on our second stocks. Igloo now with a fully charged shot means he can't quite fake it out, so Nyland definitely going to look to take advantage of that and try to react next time he sees Igloo pull it out. But Igloo now very aware of that situation. Oh, might have recovered too low. Take it back. Fox with a very strong recovery in that up special. Makes it all the way back, and we settle back down. That charge shot now gone, so Igloo can play a little bit more freely.
Yeah, the charge shot used there does just go into the shield. We'll connect that second one, just trying to find this two-frame on the ledge. The spike coming through as well, but unable to connect that one either is Igloo, but still looking so good on these stocks. The fair will connect, will just barely not make the connection there for the kill, but still unbelievably close stocks here coming through from both of these players.
Yeah, Igloo still just looking to put this one away. This is a nice little drop down. I believe that was an air, not a back air, but still finds the kill anyway. It doesn't quite matter. A nice little charge shot into the grab. Finds 40% to start this thing off. And keep an eye out for, I was literally just about to say, the up B out of shield. It is Samus, one of Samus's safest options and one of the most famous safe options out of shield in the game, but we've seen it come out once or twice so far, and it's whiffed both in last series or last set and this one might be hard to recover from, but Samus more than enough to get back, so I take that back. But an unfortunate down air into the shield means that Fox gets a free up smash and takes that stock.
Yeah, able to connect yet another charge shot. The shine coming through the two frame, not able to connect on that one, as now we start to see some strings getting put together from Nyland yet again, trying to put together some nairs and some fairs here. The up special connecting in full 105% built up. Igloo trying to fish for this last stock. Any combination of hits will be able to do it.
Yeah, this is getting pretty uncomfortable for both of these players. Oh, Igloo drops the jab there, and a forward smash comes out. That is crazy aggressive from Nyland, and it goes punished for Igloo. So again, I mean, given the ask, Shenandoah starts Samus into probably the worst known option for 2 sets in a row, and Igloo comes out on top both times.
Yeah, Igloo surviving it again with one stock here, and now you got to think Angel Eyes still sitting in the back. Maybe that is the answer to come through here for ODU. I'd assume Novastar is going to be saved to the, well, almost to the very end. At least we saw Mocha come in on the Ice Climbers in that last set, but I feel like it's got to be Angel Eyes to try to clear this one up and then try to go into whatever this next matchup is going to be.
Yeah, this is more or less what SU was hoping. This is the result. This is the destination that SU was trying to put themselves in set one. They just didn't. This is not how they saw it happening. While, yes, they are expecting, I assume, yes, Snake to come in now and take care of this one stock from Igloo, it means that SU gets their pick on how to deal with this Snake. And whereas last time, the Snake was a surprise off the start. But it also means that, once again, one of the 4 that we were expecting to see will not show up. Last time, it was Voltaic Breeze and Fish. Maybe Ices comes back this time around. That's still on the table. But nonetheless, the 4 that SU, I'm sure, was planning around, being Angel Eyes, Novastar, Voltaic Breeze, and Fish, one of those is off the board now.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see no Voltaic Breeze in that first set. Unsure if we'll see them here in this set as we wait to see what the player selection is going to be here for ODU. But I feel like it just makes the most sense for it to be Angel Eyes to try to continue some momentum from that first game. It does sound like it will be Angelize coming through from ODU into this Samus of Igloo, so we'll have to see if Igloo can get a little bit more than they were able to in that first set and go 4-3 at the very least.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, just watching those replays, I love the swagger that Igloo just played that matchup with. That was, I mean, he did not default to strictly melee matchup. He did still stick to the game plan, stick to his guns, no pun intended, and just played around the timing of the shines, played the mental game, and came out very much on top. So that was a huge moment for Igloo to come out of that series still in the game. But now, an opportunity to try to take more, right? This is extra credit. You know, we use that term quite a bit, but this one also, I mean, when Angelize is on your screen, you know we're going to be in for a long one.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very long stock here potentially for Igloo, but we'll have to see if they can secure one here for SU and get them that 9-8 lead. Instead, the grab into down throw will come through. Charge shot interrupted by the nade, but will blow up onto Angel Eyes here instead. The fair connecting as well. So I love the aggression that Igloo is playing with right now, not letting Angel Eyes set up a lot of these kind of grenade setups. The up smash will connect, but won't be able to find the kill. Another high recovery.
Yeah.
The up air will. That's one stock gone. Igloo, how much more can you get?
Fly Swatter Igloo not letting you sit up there, and you saw it the first time as well. The first time these two players played, Igloo was not afraid to go up high and swing at a snake trying to recover all the way up there. And once again, Igloo able to force Angel Eyes into that scenario. Now has no jump, goes to destroy the helicopter, but can't quite do it. Angel Eyes goes up high again. Igloo tries to go for it, can't quite get it, and will at least eat a dash attack, but honestly, could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse indeed. Just kind of free falling there. The grab connecting Nikita. Missile up in the air. Won't be able to find anything as Igloo retreats for that charge shot. Will be able to connect one. Both of these players now in a very dangerous position here when it comes to percentages. 104 and counting for Igloo to the 95% onto Angel Eyes here. A very, very close stock. We'll see if the recovery comes through. It does. They do get back to the platform. Back air will connect. Let's see if Igloo can find another one.
Yeah, Angel Eyes fakes going high there, but learned his lesson from last time, and I don't think we've really seen it much since, but Igloo very much threatening this last stock, and no jump left means that recovery becomes a little more predictable, and this is shaping out to be a disastrous start for ODU.
Yeah, I mean, Angel Eyes now down to their final stock. Charge shot connecting another one. Why not? Igloo not even moving. Another one. 52% build up. Angel Eyes opting to go high there. Oh, if that one connected, that could have been dangerous.
Right. He's on the C4.
My goodness, what is going on? You need to move.
Okay, the C4 is at center stage, and I don't know that Igloo has seen it yet, as he's right. Is he not? Maybe I'm seeing something wrong. I saw Snake drop it, but he has not exploded it yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn I saw that fall from Snake. He's standing. There it is. Okay. Good Lord, I thought I was going crazy.
I was like, is that just a weird, like, stage pixel that's being
weird? I saw it fall from Angel Eyes, so I thought it was an intentional setup, but it felt like both players maybe forgot that was there because he didn't do the now thing that he does when he blows it up.
Yes, yeah.
Like, that was just a timing thing. It does explode on its own after like 20 seconds or something. So, wow, that scared me. But hey, how about it, though? Igloo goes into the two worst feasible matchups for Samus to get in this series and comes out with 5 stocks? Are you kidding me?
That is exactly what you wanted to see from Igloo in that sense. Like you said, the two hardest matchups for Samus to play into, coming out with 5, setting SU up with an unbelievable advantage here in this second set. It did look like AJ was the one to sit down and try to clean up this final stock of Angel Eyes on this Falco, which is the matchup that they kind of wanted from the get-go, at least later on, expecting expecting Novastar to start in that first set. They want Falco with, I believe, is it Shine as well? Is that what it's called for Falco? I know it's the same kind of concept.
I think
as
it also
deflecting.
is. Yeah, it's just, he throws it instead.
Yeah, he just like throws it. It's not just on his body. So there's definitely a lot of potential here for AJ to go now on a tear with this Falco as he dances around, spins menacingly on the platform.
Wow. So, okay, this is, you said it, a matchup that SU was actually hoping to get because AJ's not afraid to use this Shine. So, what does Angel Eyes do? How do you deal with this matchup? Because historically, AJ has started to get real comfortable into this matchup. Here we go, grabs the grenade and forced to shield it and throw it away, but nice little up tilt combo to get this thing started. And so far, AJ looking extremely comfortable. Does get the up throw into the spike. Can't quite find more, but a nice little 71% to start this thing off. AJ is not here to play slow.
Yeah, exactly what you want to see thus far. The side B coming through won't be able to connect. The down tilt will be able to connect there, but still trying to hunt for a back air, the up throw, something. There's a C4 on the ground. We can see it very clearly. He's standing right on it again. But yeah, maybe that's an SU thing. Just stand on the C4 and just call the bluff. Blow it up at some point. 113 now. AJ with a potential edge guard, but won't be able to find that back air. Oh!
I was literally just about to say I'm pretty sure AJ knows where it is because he just jumped over it, but he does land right back on it, so he loses his first. But Angel Eyes now up to 120, 130% on their last stock. Still massive advantage for SU, and as Way Awesome Kevin would always say, you can never complain about trading 1 for 1, and that's exactly what AJ walks out with.
Yeah, that is exactly what you want to see from AJ in that scenario. This now forces them into their final 2 players, which we will have to assume is going to be, Mocha and Novastar, right? That's what we saw in that last set. So we'll have to see if it's Novastar this time or maybe Ice Climbers to come out for Mocha here to try to answer into this Falco. But right now, SU is sitting in a perfect position to seal this one with a 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That is 2 massive, big, bad demons behind you, right? Fox into Samus, Snake into anybody. Now done and off the board. Again, you said it, and I agree. I think it makes the most sense to assume that the 2 remaining players will be the Ices and the Sonic. You know, anything can happen. Obviously, we know how deep and fluid this roster is, but based off how last series went, I don't see a reason to think that they would switch it up now. But I guess they kind of did against FIU, though. So, hard to say. But ultimately, 2 massive problems in the rearview mirror. And SU with a 2-stock lead and their choice of their last 2 players going in whatever order they want. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I'm so used to Kip not being able to play because he starts, but Kip is still in. Willie is obviously going to still be there. So this is a big ask for any member of ODU, right? Novastar feels like they need to go huge here to really set up Mocha with an opportunity to be able to seal the deal against Willie. But that's if Novastar goes in now or later. We're not entirely sure. We know Novastar is very capable of going on runs, a very, very powerful player. So we'll have to see if you just have to stop the momentum now with this Sonic and hope that Novastar can really claw their way and bring them back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I said it earlier. One thing you know about this series is that they're going to take as long as they need between each game. And this one, excuse me, no exception. Because this is the one to take your time, I have to say.
Yeah.
This ODU is, there's a lot of Smash left. It's only 8-6 right now in stocks. But ODU is on their heels right now. This is the largest stock gap we've seen all day, and it's only 2 stocks, but it feels like a lot more than just a 2-stock gap between these 2 teams.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. The way that we know the history behind these 2 teams of how notoriously close. They always are every single time in last stock scenarios. So having a little bit of buffer here to try to really run away with this series with AJ on this Falco still sitting with 2 stocks is really a big deal, because let's say AJ comes in and takes 2 stocks off of this. It feels absolutely dire for ODU to take these 2 stocks cleanly and not lose anything off of it.
Absolutely. If every stock that AJ takes from here on out is going to be a massive deal for the remaining SU squad. Everything from here on out needs to be borderline perfect for ODU, because not only have we seen this order of players already play out and SU came out on top, but now it has gotten 2 stocks worse. It's on paper doesn't get much worse than this, but it can get a little bit worse if Novastar does not lock in right now.
Yeah, we did get word from the production. It is the Sonic Novastar coming in to try to save the day here for ODU. Let's see what they can do in this AJ matchup. Has to SD1, of course, after losing 1 to Angel Eyes. But we will see kind of what goes down here as we hop into this game.
Now, this is a matchup that is not the end of the world for AJ, because he has that laser to interrupt the Powerball, and it's forcing Novastar to be the one to play around it. Every time he wants to start charging, you better believe AJ's going to sit back and shoot 2 or 3 lasers and make you deal with it. So, okay, we're fine. I believe in previous games that would have been an SD, but the side B does not put you in special fall, so AJ able to get back and settle back into this one. Does get a side B to interrupt the forward smash that was looking to 2-frame, and now Sonic forced to recover, does catch the down tilt, and the lasers connect. Might have eaten a jump, but Sonic is all right, just barely, but good lord is AJ making Novastar work for it.
Yeah, 90% built up now. The scissor kick connecting there for Novastar, doing great damage thus far. These stocks incredibly even on both sides here. Up tilt, back air connects, and that'll be 1 down from Novastar. AJ doing exactly what you need to do in this scenario.
Yeah, what did we say? Every stock AJ takes from here on out is going to be a huge deal. That's no exception. He's looking very comfortable right now in this matchup, in this heavyweight matchup between these 2 players. Novastar is no joke on this ODU roster, and AJ is taking this in stride and stealing a stock and holding on to his first.
Yeah, still alive with this stock, 148% thus far, trying to get off the ledge. We'll just find that side B to get out of it. Back air coming through, won't be able to find the connection, but yeah, Novastar playing right now with a lot of fake outs, trying to find any avenue of approach right now. We'll be able to jump up and find their first stock, but still good extra credit coming through from AJ, building up 50%.
Yeah, AJ is still very settled into this. He looks so comfortable, and through losing that stock, right, at such a high percent, you knew it was coming eventually. But AJ, not phased. Look at that. Just running straight at a charging Sonic and throwing out an up tilt. AJ is clearly overwhelming Novastar, and I think the pressure is really starting to get to this ODU squad.
Yeah, the scissor kick will connect into the forward air. The forward smash coming through as well. Won't be able to find the connection they were looking for, but right now, Novastar sitting at 104. Anything connecting from Falco here can possibly find this stock and end Novastar's reign of terror. Well, not entirely. They still have 2 stocks, but still put a massive hit on to ODU. We'll have to see if AJ can finish the deal.
Yeah, I have to say, given the position of the situation of this crew battle, if Novastar trades 2 for 2, I mean, that is ugly. And so Novastar needs to get out of this now if ODU is going to have much of a chance in the rest of this set. I mean, this is becoming a major issue for ODU the longer this goes on. And getting caught by forward airs like that, Can't afford that if you are Novastar, and he does! He didn't have a jump, he thought he did, and that's another stock gone! Again, disaster strikes for ODU, and worst case scenario for SU, you're trading 2 for 2 in this matchup.
Yeah, the recovery coming through from AJ does find the tech side B getting there, but the down smash will connect, will find that kill, but AJ, 2 unbelievably massive stocks to set up SU with an unbelievable view of the finish line.
I mean, if you told me that this was how this series would go before today, I simply would not have believed you. Look at the team. I mean, they are juiced. They can feel it. They know where their feet are right now because, yeah, a 2-stock lead and AJ trading 2 for 2 with Novastar. That's, I hate to say it, just not something you expect. That's not AJ's role in this team. But more than stepping up to the moment, more than making the most of his opportunity and coming out with 2 of probably the most important stocks of this entire series.
Yeah, just great stuff coming out from the SU starting 2. Now, you got to assume it's going to be Kip the one to come in against the Sonic to finish off this final stock. And then Mocha potentially on the Ice Climbers, right? It does look like, yes, Kip will be the one to sit down, saving Willie for the Ices. But, yeah, it's going to be close. I still feel like it can be a disastrous if Novastar goes on a run here with this final stock, but it's really going to take everything they have to stay alive in this series.
Yeah, let's not forget that last time these two players met, Novastar took the first 2 stocks off Kip uninterrupted before Kip was able to respond. So if that is the case, if Kip loses 2 stocks before taking this one, then all of a sudden, bang, we're right back in set 1 with 4 stocks to work with, or I guess the other direction, but still, this is not over yet. There is still very important smash ahead of us, but it really could come down to this. If Kip walks out unscathed, that is immeasurably bad for ODU.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive stock from Novastar. Whichever direction it goes, it feels. Kip going on the aggression right away, just trying to put on the pressure. The Nair will connect, 27% built up. Another Nair there. Don't know what fruit we're going to go for just yet. I assume it would probably be the Galaga, but I think they're holding on to an apple right now. They do make their way over to the Bell. Another Clank with that item as well, swapping over to the Key. Unable to find the connection, but already Novastar on this final stock at 70%.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how you drew it up if you're SU, right? It's not getting much better than this. The setups are landing for SU. That Hydrant setup, not a lethal one, but enough to overwhelm Novastar into a bad situation, holding his shield for a little too long, and God forbid he ever find himself in that situation again. You know Pac-Man will kill you for it.
Yeah, 79% now. The Hydrant coming down yet again, going up for that Key, throws it, but won't be able to find the connection. I'm not sure really what happened there. It seemed like it just went right through the character model of Sonic, so might have to look at that one back. The Bell coming out again will find the air dodge. Is Novastar able to stay alive thus far, just trying to find any opening, but Kip right now not letting them have anything.
Yeah, and Kip's really starting to catch on to these shields as well. Keep an eye on that the longer this goes as the Bell gets launched to the high heavens, but another Bell comes out. Ooh, Kip with the setup, but can't quite land that one. But still in no real danger of losing this stock anytime soon. I mean, this has been extremely one-sided so far, and there's another one of those setups. Not quite enough, and that was a bit of a weird one as the grab went way wide, but Sonic still gets caught by the Hydrant. Doesn't matter, 150%, and it's getting ugly for Novastar.
The side air will connect. The Hydrant hitting Sonic. Novastar launched off the stage, and now Kip in a very commanding spot now against Mocha, these Ice Climbers.
I mean, what did I say? If Kip comes out of that matchup unscathed, that is immeasurably bad for ODU. The deficit from Igloo. This all goes back to Shenandoah's first player. Igloo goes 5 stocks into the most nightmare scenario he could have been handed and sets up the rest of his team for gross success, especially given the continued momentum from AJ. I think the pressure of this moment, the pressure of this rivalry has gotten to ODU, and it is falling apart fast.
And you got to think in the last couple of matchups, it has been ODU the ones to come up on top over SU, and now the script has flipped, right? SU running away with this series, potentially on the cusp of a 2-0, not even going to a third set that we've seen time and time again with these two teams. So I'm assuming it's going to be Mocha on Ice Climbers. We don't know if Fish is in the building. We don't know if we'll take Breeze is still here, the Ryu as well. So we'll have to see what comes through, but given game 1, I feel like it's Mocha on these Ice Climbers to try to go on what would be an unbelievable tear to keep ODU in this game.
Yeah, the hard part for me is, as far as I know, I believe Mocha is new at ODU. I don't know if this is a first year, if this is a transfer, or maybe I'm just wrong. But my understanding is that Mocha is new to ODU, and I think it's so hard after already putting a new player into an anchor situation in set 1 and losing, to put a freshman in that situation again, in a worse situation with more pressure on them, in a game that separates your team from 2-1 and 1-2. That's a lot of pressure, and a lot of pressure that ODU sounds like is not willing to put on Mocha.
Yeah, Mocha, not the one to go in here. We got word from our production. It will be Voltaic Breeze on the Ryu. So they were available, just did not opt to go in here in that first set. So Ryu, a Shoto character, very, very good at finding and closing out stocks relatively quickly. Has some invulnerability built into the kit as well. So we'll have to see what Voltaic Breeze can do. But Ryu, I feel like, is the character to do it on.
I agree. And again, just speaking the exact opposite of Mocha, Voltaic Breeze has been around forever. This is a player that has been in high-pressure situations, and I don't know in the form of an anchor or not. I'm not familiar enough with ODU's structure outside of their matchups against Shenandoah. But this I think is the right decision, if it was a decision, right? That was the big question. Was Voltaic Breeze even here? But I think it... Dang. I mean, I think it shows a lot of strength to the ODU roster that they are able to move pieces around so easily and so fluidly. But I mean, it is only getting worse. This is a blue and red avalanche for Shenandoah right now.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about Ryu, the recovery, not that good. And we saw it there, unable to get back to the stage. 1 stock already down. Kip still sitting here with 3 stocks. Wow, I am surprised that that did what it did, but still, Kip in the driver's seat here, only 98%.
I guess Kip might have still been in the air. I don't know. I couldn't tell what. Wow, Kip was able to fall out of that combo twice. That also surprises me. I'm just getting caught off guard by everything, I guess. But Ryu able to catch the orange there. The forward smash gets clanked, and Ryu does walk away with a stock there. So even stocks in the matchup. But again, the SD to start this means that Voltaic Breeze has a long way to go and not much room for error.
Yeah, let's see what Kip can do here. Goes for the grab, but won't be able to find it. The Hadoukens coming out for the ledge guard as well. The Hydrant coming down, trying to find that side smash. Possibly would have been able to find that kill as well, but unable to connect it. Now Kip on their second stock. The grab will connect, but able to get out of it thus far. Trying to recover back to stage is Kip. Will be able to do so and buy some space. Bell is out, still in hand. Won't be able to connect. Trying to read up a roll there, but instead does not find what they were looking for, and Ryu, Voltaic Breeze, able to find their second stock.
Yeah, now, if you're Kip, you certainly don't want to give ODU any reason to believe that they're still in this. This worst case scenario for SU, right? Obviously losing this stock, but more than that, you give Voltaic Breeze momentum into the last game. So a larger moment than it might seem for Kip, as he does find one of those bells, and a stun confirms into the forward smash. So, again, Kip gets away from what might have been an ugly situation and forces Voltaic Breeze to their last stock.
Last stock, indeed. Able to get back onto stage is Voltaic Breeze. Will be able to, almost is able to find that angle on the spike, but can't quite find it. Kip playing the space well, able to back up as needed and set up these hydrants to farm for Bell, Key, whatever they may need. Still trying to find some space as Voltaic Breeze is just trying to finish off this stock and get to Willie, and it looks like they might have just done that. Yes, the spike comes through, and now we're back down 3 stocks to 1.
Hey, how about it, though? Kip goes in, takes 2, one of them unforced to start this thing off, but nonetheless, win's a win for SU, and that matchup right there is certainly a win for SU in the form of taking 2 stocks. But one player remains for SU, one opportunity for ODU to stay in this, but it's going to take Perfect Smash Bros. In a Shoto matchup, a head-to-head between 2 characters that thrive in these circumstances. Willie's going Kazuya.
Yeah, that is not, well, I guess kind of what you want to see on the side of, I don't know, ODU maybe, but I don't know. It's kind of a tough matchup with the Shoto into Shoto, but definitely what you want to see on the side of SU, because Willie Kazuya is just a scary monster when it comes in and is very, very hard to deal with no matter what character you're playing.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think if you're ODU, you'd rather see Terry here, because I don't think anyone in this game is better in close range than Kazuya. That's Kazuya's whole brand, is that if you are in striking distance, he will take you from 0 to 90. So the problem is that Ryu, while he has more options to avoid those situations, he also wants to be in your face. But I expect, without the room to breathe, without stocks to lose, this is going to have to be a very slow Hadouken-based game from Voltaic Breeze, because he can't afford to take one of those interactions. The way Kazuya works, I just said it, he will take one window and give you 90% as a Christmas present.
Yeah.
With one stock to work with, you cannot afford any of those. So I'm fully expecting Voltaic Breeze to sit back as long as possible, but on a stage like Hollow Bastion here, you're kind of out of options to hide.
Yeah, it's a smaller stage, right? Only one platform there in the middle. And right now, we can already see Willie off to the races going for that grab. We'll be able to find some percentage. Is Voltaic Breeze there? The electric landing won't be able to find another, but that might actually just, well, can they recover? Yes, they can. The side special coming through, they're able to get them back towards that ledge, but already 90. Oh, the spot dodge, the up won't be able to connect. Let's see if Voltaic Breeze can get a stock.
Okay, I mean 120% already though on Voltaic Breeze without taking a stock yet. Here's one. Kazuya does die to that, but Willie's still extremely comfortable in his own shoes, right? Spot dodging focus is a crazy call out, but now Willie is starting to throw out his kill options, and that's one of them. The electric lands, the up B confirms, and SU finally conquer their demons and 2-0 ODU.
2-0ing ODU is not something I had on the cards here tonight. I expected 2-1 any direction, frankly, in this series, but individual performances in set 2 really set SU apart in this series. Specifically, Igloo and AJ going unbelievable in their 3 stocks there in that second set.
Yeah, I mean, this was a Samus day, boy. I mean, how in the world do 2 sets in a row does Igloo get his worst matchup? And at the time in set 1, we didn't even know Fox was on the table. So it was, in Igloo's mind, that was worst case scenario. And not only did he come out on top, he survived with stocks, took it, found out that there's a Fox over there, found out it does get worse, and then had to experience that a whole set later, overcame that, took 2 stocks against Snake. I mean, that is where this series got decided. I said it in the pregame that any of these stocks can be the one to lose you the game, and for this series, it was stocks 1 through 5.
Yeah.
All 5 of them in set 2 were disasters for ODU.
Yeah, I mean, ODU looking to bounce back now moving forward. They fall to 1-2 in the group. Not where you want to be, but SU 3-0, remaining undefeated, looking at the very, very top of the group alongside Full Sail. So we'll have to see how this one continues to play out, but SU's beginning half of this schedule is incredibly hard, and they're undefeated. This is exactly where the Hornets want to be.
Exactly. You said it. We said it earlier. This Shenandoah schedule this year is extremely front-loaded, and they are 3-0. ODU through 3 weeks already has more losses than they did all of last year.
Yeah.
That's alarming for the ODU squad, as I'm sure they will bounce back. Right. I know that they played FIU. That's an incredibly talented team. They played Shenandoah, obviously an incredibly talented team. So they have the same, seemingly, back half of the season that SU has, and I'm sure both of these teams will find plenty of success as the season goes on. But boy, is this not at all how I'm sure they drew up the start of their season, and SU borderline, we said it, borderline clenching playoffs now, because they have quite a bit of breathing room to go the rest of their season with a loss or even 2 and still be in playoffs.
Yeah, because you got to think of tiebreaker scenarios, right? You have the win over FIU and you have the win over ODU. Even if you end up tied, you have that head-to-head to give you one of those top 2 spots. I know Full Sail, I don't know where Full Sail lands in the schedule, but I think they might be the next matchup. I could be completely wrong on that one.
My computer's dead.
Regardless, that is going to be a massive deal, because if SU comes out on top against Full Sail, it gives me no reason to believe they aren't going to get out of this group in that 1 seed.
Exactly. Yeah, the road ahead is as easy or as bright as it gets. The opportunities for success is incredible. Ian in chat saying that we do play Full Sail next. So again, this front-loaded schedule continues to roll, but SU can afford to drop a series or 2 at this point and still get out in playoffs. I mean, this is so exciting for this team, and there's plenty to be happy about after tonight.
Yeah, unbelievable start, as I believe we do have our MVP, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what I'm catching out of the corner of my eye. And, well, hey, shocker, it's Igloo here to take the cake. We see Yoshi on the graphic, but they did play Samus here today. 8 stocks taken, 6 stocks lost. An unbelievable performance at the beginning of set number 2. You can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, and thankfully we have the man himself back here, the captain, the coach, whatever you want to call him, the star of today, undeniably, the Samus protege, Igloo, our MVP. How are you feeling right now, beating ODU 2-0 for the first time, I want to say, in both of our time here, that series has not gone the distance, at least in my memory. How are you feeling? What's going through your mind right now?
Chris, I am stoked to have beaten ODU in our last showing ever.
Amen.
There it is.
I will be graduating this semester, and I wanted to tell the people before the match that this is our last shot versus ODU. They've gotten the better of us, as you've said, Chris. But I've been thinking about this match for weeks, and I think that I have figured out a plan that would solve our ODU problems, and I got to put it on display tonight, Chris. The last time we get to see them, we come out with a 2-0.
Are you kidding me? So you are absolutely right, and you and I got to talk a little bit between...
Yeah, vouch for me, Chris.
Yes. You and I talked before this series started. Ben and I had to come up here and act like we didn't know that Samus was going to open today. But yeah, you mentioned it earlier that's been something we've been cooking for a long time. What was the thought behind that, and how do you feel about what you saw today, coming out with 3 stocks in set 1 and 5 stocks in set 2?
So the interesting part, Chris, is the Samus is not new. I actually have played Samus in crew battles and specifically versus ODU just in NECC placements, which I'm sure you guys touched on. But the big decision that I made tonight is that I wanted Novastar. I wanted to go in there and I wanted to beat who I knew they were going to start, which was obviously their Sonic. Am I right, guys?
Right? Yeah, 100%.
Makes
So
sense to
then
me.
they started someone who they've never started in their career, and I can tell you that because I study a lot of ODU. They never study. They never start Angel Eyes on the Snake, and it was brilliant. Like that's exactly who I would have started if I would have predicted that we would have started the Samus. But Chris, I am just really, really happy with my gameplay because I don't know if you watched that first stock, but I probably took 90% without touching the guy.
Yeah.
But I locked in and I'm like, wait, I know what to do. I've studied this player a lot and I know what works against him. And not only did I take those 3 stocks in game 1, and we won't talk about what happened in the Fox after that, but then in game 2, they're like, actually, that Snake didn't go the best. Let's try going Fox, which is one of Samus' hardest matchups in the entire game. And then I locked in that matchup, and I'm just really happy with that, Chris. And the even better part is that I managed to take 2 more off the Snake. And in my opinion, my efforts were... I don't want to discredit the rest of the team, but I really firmly believe that my efforts in this crew battle were a huge part of us winning, and I'm just really proud of myself for that.
Yeah, you should be. I want to speak specifically in that set 2. You start Samus again, and it's the Fox right off the bat, and you're like, dang.
Terrible.
That sucks, right? That is not what you want to see. And you come up very cleanly, and then you go into Angel Eyes, and you find 2. Like you said, what was the mental state going into that first set there with the Fox being like, okay, this is not what I want to see. What were any adjustments that you made into that set? Because me and Chris were talking, it didn't look like a lot changed. You really just felt like you had a flow state going in that second set.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously thought the Fox was an ideal pick for ODU, and the results of the match is that I won, but that is definitely one of the better Foxes I've played, especially online. I'm very used to playing Yoshi in that matchup. I'm very experienced with it with Yoshi. The issue with Fox is that not only is he super fast and overwhelms Samus, but he also has the reflector, so I really can't camp him. So my strategy, Ben, was to do a lot of whiff punishing in the spots that I could. So I would try to bait him to do these fast aerials on me, and I would try to be just outside of his range to get something like a back air, I think is when I got most of my stocks off of. And I tried to execute a lot of pressure off stage. His recoveries were really good, though. He was not getting ledge trapped by Samus at all. That was something I was hoping to make better use of this set. But my onstage gameplay and my whiff punishing, I'd say, were the 2 main factors that I was able to overcome the Fox with, but it was definitely a very difficult match. I want to give credits to him because he's new to ODU, and I think he's doing great over there.
Yeah, I want to talk a little more to your mental in the moment, right? You started this series, so there was plenty of Smash behind you. But I know that, at least in my mind and back here, when you go 5 stocks, in my head, I'm thinking, this is over. Like, at what point for you did it sink in that, oh my God, like this is happening?
So 5 stocks is over in certain contexts. And the reason when 5 stocks means the game is over is when the teams are as even as us and ODU are. When I take those 5 stocks, it's like, sometimes you can make that back, but when the teams are so even, it's like, that's too much sometimes. Like I say a lot of times that, like, in order to win a crew battle, you need to go even with 3 of the other people. And then sometimes your 4th can really make something happen. Like, you're hoping that your 4th performs a little bit better than their 4th and you can overtake if 3 of them go even. But with this school, I mean, like, let's say you go down 5 stocks and then we send in our second player. If that second player wins that first stock, you are now down an entire player versus the team that's even than you. So, like, I would say that first game when I took out Snake completely, almost at that point, I felt like I don't really care who they counterpick me with. Like, when I saw the Fox, I was really shocked. I thought that was a great decision, but it really, I didn't really care once I took out the Snake. And then in game 2, when they started the Fox, I actually felt less important about those stocks than the Snake stocks. Because the Snake stocks give a lot of trouble to players like Kyle, players like Will. But I mean, then when AJ can go in there and do what he did to the Snake, I mean, it makes my job a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what your thoughts were on AJ specifically going into that Snake and then taking 2 off of the Sonic as well in that set too. Everyone coming up huge. What do you have to say about kind of the team play and where everyone was placed and how they performed here tonight?
I think it's fair to say that AJ actually had a rough start to this series. I thought that he was dropping a lot of his Falco combos that really netted him a lot of damage. But what was really clear to me that AJ was really aware in both neutral and off stage. And when you're playing a really tight off stage game versus this Sonic player, he can struggle to kill you. I don't know if you were able to pay attention to the stocks with Kip versus Novastar, but I mean, almost all of those stocks were off-stage interactions with Novastar's really good ledge trapping. So when I'm watching AJ really lock down the neutral, really lock down his recovery routes, he's reversaling this Sonic off the ledge in good spots. He didn't die a single time for going for reversals. When I'm watching that, I mean, I'm so comfortable with sending him into those matchups. You guys might not be familiar with this, but I believe it was 2 years ago at Game Mason when we first tried AJ versus Novastar, the Sonic, from ODU. And that is the reason that we beat them in groups, because AJ was also able to take 2 stocks in that matchup. And Novastar is such a critical part of ODU's game plan that when they're losing those stocks to AJ, and I think AJ's a really great player, but those are stocks that they really need to hold in the grand scheme of things. That makes me feel so good. Like AJ's placement was like, yes, let's throw the reflector at Snake. That makes sense. But when he has to play Sonic and you start thinking about, wait, like how does Sonic spin dash through lasers? How does he handle this ledge pressure? Like he kind of dies at 90 to up tilt back air. Like a few things kind of fall into place. And although it's probably not as good as like a Kyle versus Novastar or like a me versus Novastar, I mean, I think it's better than Will versus Novastar. That can be rough. But I mean, when we're able to slot him into that position, we're having a party out there. I mean, we're giggling, we're really having a good time because those are stocks that we know are so important, and I'm so happy that we're all able to contribute in this really big way.
Absolutely. I've got one more question for you before we wrap this thing up. 3-0 so far in your group. Undefeated alongside Full Sail, and I don't know if you knew, Full Sail got 2-0'd by FIU today. So you now stand alone at undefeated, top of the bracket top of the group at 3-0, and your, I would argue, biggest opponents behind you. What does today mean for the rest of the season? What does a win like this mean for your team?
Yeah, if we're gonna call a spade, Chris, this is the one we needed to win tonight. I really want to give the SU fans some confidence that we are going to take this whole group. And, you know, a lot of things can happen. I mean, I'm not trying to underestimate the competition. I'm going to go into them as strong as I possibly can. But in my opinion, after these first 3 weeks being as talented as they were, when I'm looking at things like objective standings and when I'm studying what I'm studying, it really makes sense that we come out undefeated in this group. I think that's fair to say. So it's really, really exciting. I don't want to speak too far ahead of time, but if we were to come out of this group undefeated, which I'm going to do my very best to do, we would have our best shot of making NACE playoffs. We would get our best draw yet. Last year we ran into Winthrop. You want to know the reason? You want to know the reason we ran into Winthrop, Chris? You know?
Because you lost to ODU.
Because we lost to ODU.
Yeah.
So we are now gonna steal that top seed bracket, and that excites me because I want to go to wherever the NACE Finals is hosted this year.
Absolutely. Well, it excites me. I'm sure it excites Ben, I hope it excites all of you at home. A massive win for SU today in Varsity Smash Bros. Yeah, shout out Buzzy. Probably your biggest cheerleader back here. But
that's my dog right there.
Yeah, amen. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to the team on a very much character win here tonight. And that will do it for us here in our Shenandoah Esports Arena in Winchester, Virginia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching on right now so you don't miss out on any of the action like that, because you won't want to miss any more of that. I'm Chris Clayton. This has been Kincaid. This is our superstar player, Igloo. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life. We will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.